welcome back to another episode of Becoming the Product. I am Naya, and today I want to take you behind the scenes of my new role as an Incubation Manager at NitHub in Unilag. Basically, what I have been learning from supporting startups and how those same lessons can help you if you're transitioning into product management, building side projects, or even thinking about starting something on your own. And before we get into it, a quick note. If you're listening and you're serious about building proof for your product career, I've created a set of mini courses. Very practical courses, very simple, things that you can apply immediately. And you'll find the links of all these courses in the show notes. So now let's get into it. How did I even land in incubation? Honestly, it wasn't in the plan. It was a friend, or will I say more of like a colleague, in one of the communities that I volunteered in. I met him there and even participated in a few product challenges with him. And when the job role came out, he just like thought of me like I'll be great for the role and referred me to it. So this is why I always talk about community, that you need to be able to be active in it because you don't know where your opportunities might come from. And even when I saw the job role, I still felt that I didn't meet up to it. But when I researched and really looked into what Incubation Manager entails, I realized that I've actually started doing something on a similar level, and it wasn't going to be that hard to get into it. Because I thought my path was very straightforward. I mean, you know my story. I came from the bank. I started transitioning into product management. I thought it was going to be like product roles, maybe a startup, maybe climb the ladder. And now I find myself managing programs at NitHub, where I guide founders through incubation and acceleration as well. Well, what have I realized in all this is that working with startups is like watching product management in fast forward. Every mistake, every breakthrough, every messy pivot, it is all happening right in front of you. And I can't help but see parallels with my own product management journey. And maybe you can identify this with yours as well. So a few things I've learned, or let's start from the first thing. The first thing I've learned, founders love their vision. And that's very beautiful. Like seeing that passion when they're talking about their products. It's good. But sometimes those vision without validation is like building on quicksand. Like I see it all the time. You see this beautiful pitch deck that someone has come to pitch, or you've seen this beautiful prototype that they've spent hours designing. Even some of them get to the level of having full apps already. But the problem is that they've never been in front of a real user. And as product managers, we fall into this as well. We build frameworks, we draw up roadmaps, but the proof lives in your users and not in your slides. Right? And that is why in my newsletter, I actually share templates and sometimes case studies to help you validate faster and avoid that shiny deck syndrome. If you're not on it as well, please, the link is in the show notes. Make sure you subscribe, and you actually thank yourself later when you get some of these resources at your doorstep. The second lesson is iteration is actually harder than ideation. Everyone loves that idea stage, but a few are willing to wrestle with iteration. I had one team that actually did everything, but they always, as PMs, what they trained us was, if you want to be like an agile PM, you need to like ship one product, one feature first, iterate on it, get feedback from the customers, then you now release the second one based on the feedback you get. But I've seen a couple of people who just like they want to build all those 10 features at once. They just want to like push everything out into the market. They don't want to like take a step back and gather feedback and use that feedback to forge their next decision. So it actually puts a lot of people I like to call it in a bind, because you get to a situation whereby you launch all these products and nobody uses it because you didn't include them in the process initially. So for PMs, it's really the same thing that applies to you. Your first draft is not the product. The product is what emerges after you've been listened and after you've adapted. So you keep listening and you keep adapting. And that is how you're able to get a product that has that initial product market fit when it hits the market. And speaking of adapting, I'm actually designing something called PMaaS. I've mentioned it before, product management as a service. It's by way of helping early stage founders and teams who cannot hire a full-time PM but desperately need product thinking. If this sounds interesting, please DM me on LinkedIn. I'm actually validating the idea in public to see if many people actually want to be a part of this. And I'd love to hear your feedback and even explore working with you if this is something you want. Now, going back to the third lesson, community is a feature, it is not a footnote. Community is very important. You saw how I talked about getting my role as an incubation manager off a contact that I had in a community that I was active in. Many startups treat it as marketing, like they want something they do after you've launched. But the truth is that community is the first feature. It's the target audience that you're able to talk to, that you can actually build off the conversations you have with them. The founders who build in public, who involve their early users, who listen openly, are the ones who win. And honestly, that is why I actually started this podcast. It isn't just about content. Yes, content is there. Yes, I was trying to share my experience, but I also wanted to hear a community. I wanted to understand how people who are in the same situations, same circumstances as I am, walk through the same hurdles or challenges that we face transitioning into product management and right now pivoting to other careers. And if you want to actually go deeper, you can grab one or more of my mini courses. They are designed to help you tell your own product story with confidence, whether it's in your portfolio, your LinkedIn profile, or even in your side projects. So, a quick heads up, in December, I'll be at the Product Dive Conference 2025, one of the biggest tech and product events of the year. I'll be sharing more details soon, but just know this: if you are building your career in product, you want to pay attention. It is going to be a good and exciting opportunity. So let me tie this together. Being an incubation manager has taught me that startups and PMs share the same struggles: validating ideas, iterating with humility, and treating community as a core. When I kind of put the startups in my group, for instance, I keep telling them to work with the community they have, network with other startups, or in the actual alumni community. I keep telling them your early adopters could be here. Always try to talk to people. Always try to understand that community is at the core of your business and not just an afterthought. And as you reflect on this, here are a few ways you can keep building your own proof. You can grab one or more of my mini courses if you want structured, practical ways to show your product skills. You can subscribe to my newsletter for weekly lessons and tools. You can DM me on LinkedIn if you want to have a chat about product management as a service, especially if you are a founder or freelancer curious about working with me. And keep an eye out for December's Product Life Conference. I'm going to talk a lot more about it in the coming weeks. Remember, your proof is your independence, and every restart is part of the product you are becoming. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you were able to get one or two from this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great week.